All right, a few more people hopping in. Amazing. Usually I like to be here like 10, 15 minutes early. So thank you guys for your patience. I popped in right at 9 o'clock. Not my favorite jam, but it's me and my daughter this morning, so gotta get her settled. All right. I took a couple notes, got a kind of a loose plan for today. But I would love to, okay, no, note takers. Sorry, friends. All these like all these windows pop up right when we get started with these AI note takers that want to be in here. Sorry. Um, okay. Good morning. Happy Saturday. Happy day one of week 5 of October. How are we here? I have no idea, but so grateful that we have 5 weeks in this month. I would love, we're going to get interactive this morning, you guys. So I would love for you to drop a word in the chat for how you are feeling right now about October in general in this moment. You kind of take your pick, but drop one word that kind of gives me an idea of where you're at and how you're feeling. Um, I like to match. I like to match the energy. Or if the energy is real low, we can raise it up a little bit. Hopeful, challenging. Okay, okay. Obviously, if you are driving or it is unsafe for you to type, please don't do that. Um, Chaos. Okay, I can resonate with that, especially this week. Murky. Okay, that's a really good word. Not great feeling, but it's a really good word. Rushed. Okay, so close to promoting to 95. Right there with you, girlfriend. Challenging. Okay, this is good. This is good. Okay, I know it's October, but I want to talk to you guys about November and December. October is not over for most of us, but November starts right now. I think this is the beautiful gift of a 5 week turn is that um, we have this week of overlap, and I personally love that the end of the week is ending at the end of the month, and we don't have that weird gray area that we haven't found a good word for to describe when it's like 2 months at the same time. But how I'm approaching this week is it's that time, right? It is time to wrap up October goals and it is time to get started on November and December and end of the year. So I would love to know, where are you in terms of your October goals? Are you there? Have you surpassed your goal? Are you really far away? Um, if you want to drop, or we can do numbers if you guys want. Maybe one, if you've hit your goal, two, if you're really close to your goal, and three, if you're far away from your goal. And I'll try to remember what I just said. So one is you've hit, two is you're close, and three is you're far away. Okay. Three, close. Three, three. So three, one, three, three, three. Yep. Life be life in, right? Okay. We're far away from our goals. Okay. Cool. All right. I personally have exceeded my stretch goal so far, but in terms of the accountability sheet, but in terms of my actual goal, which is an issue goal, I'm about halfway there. So got some work to do. So I'm right there with you guys. I feel like I'm kind of straddling one and three, because there's two ways that we're looking at things. Um, okay, got some chargebacks. Yep, we always want to account for those. Okay, I want to talk about goals, intentions, commitments as we are stepping into the end of the month, right? We're in the last quarter, we're stepping into the last 2 months. The last 2 months, obviously, we have holidays. We have a lot, like, life keeps lifing through November and December. I want to talk to you guys about goals, intentions, commitments. This is not like universal language. This is how I understand these words and how I work with these when I am planning and goal setting. And so if this sounds contradictory to something that you've read or heard before, I just encourage you all to like pick what feels really good for you, right? If something doesn't resonate that I share, that's totally fine. You can leave it at the door, and go back to to what you were subscribed to before. But this is something that for me, the clarity between goals, intentions, and commitments, those are all different things. And sometimes I think they're used interchangeably. But this has been a game changer for me in terms of clarity of where I'm going, what I'm shooting for, how I'm getting there, et cetera, et cetera. Okay. So a goal. We're going to talk about this. So goals, intentions, commitments. I would love to know, and if you don't know, think about it now. What is your goal for November? And if you don't know that, you can put your goal for October. Just give me an example of a goal that you have right now. It can be end of the year, it can be long term. Just give me an example of a goal that you have. All right. Rick, 15 to 20,000 what? Issued, money in the bank, submitted. Okay, Trisha's got 15K issued. Derek wants 4K in the bank. Love that. Okay. Rick, APV. Issued or submitted? Yeah, see, this is why I ask, right? We want to be really, really clear because the difference between 15K, I'll be very transparent with you guys. I have 23,000 submitted on my own pen this month, and I am not even close to having 10,000 submitted or issued yet. So the difference between, right, I would love to say that I've got 23,000 issued right now on my own pen. Not the case. I've got some fully underwrittens. I've got some declines. I've got some things scheduled for November. So it's not, it's not painted out that way. Okay, 6,000 issued, 5,000 issued, 5,000 stretched, 10,000 issue. Okay, 10,000 in deposits to get paid. Okay, perfect. So you want issued. Okay, 19,000 submitted. Okay, now you guys might not have these. Do you guys have any intentions? Or if you have any intentions, what are your intentions for the month, for the year, for your business? Actually, let's do this. Where we're at, 1, 2, 3, put a 4 if you work with intentions, if you have intentions when you're goal setting, and a 5 if you're like, yeah, no, I don't do that. I just set a goal. So 4 is I have some intentions, 5 is not. Okay, for those of you who have intentions, drop your intentions or an example of an intention. And then while we're doing that, we're going to talk about commitments. So sometimes people get goals and commitments confused. And again, this is my understanding. So how people work with these words and these goals is could be different. But in my eyes, my experience is that people confuse goals and commitments. I'm gonna mute her. Okay. A commitment is something that is going to happen no matter what, that you are declaring is going to happen no matter what literally whatever it takes. If it means losing sleep, it gets done. If it means spending twice as much money as you want to on leads, it gets done. If it means you're missing the kids' soccer games or a weekend of soccer games, it gets done. That literally nothing else comes above or before. And not to say that in a moment that doesn't happen, but the commitment, you are no matter what committed. You put your life on the line. If I told you you have to give me $10,000 if you don't hit the commitment, you would not balk because it's getting done. There's no question. Full belief. That's your commitment. In order to have a commitment, we need to have one of two things. We either need to know exactly what it takes to get there, or we need to be really, really delusional. And we're going to talk a little bit about that. Okay, so 500 in leads weekly. Great. Okay. The intention is to dial 12 hours per week and sit with at least 10. Okay. So a little bit of strategy. Yep. Okay. And then we have, so let me ask you this. What are you committed to, let's say by the end, let's go November for our November goals, since I told you we're going to talk about November. Elijah, you got to take that over there, honey. Right. Yep, it's too loud. You got to take it over there. And if you need help, you can go get Nana. So what is your November commitment? Your no matter what, hell or high water, you have a week like I did when you were in the ER. You had a third birthday party for your daughter. You spent 2 days on the phone with lawyers and courts dealing with domestic issues, but you get the goal done. What is your no matter what commitment for the month of November? And if we don't have it yet, nothing. Okay. So if you're new, drop a 6 in the chat if you are like in your first few months. You're in your first 90 days here. I don't know if anybody. is. Okay. Um, what I want you guys to think about is we're going into November, we're going into December, and that starts right now. Week 5 of October, that is where November begins. So we want to get really, really clear on our goals, our intentions, and our commitments. So your goal is what you're going for. It's what you're shooting for. Some people will say that the goal is the commitment. The goal is the no matter what, the stretch. So I guess I kind of think of things as, goal is what we're shooting for, but commitment is what we're actually saying no matter what is going to happen. So that might just be 1,000 APV. That might be 100 dials in a week, something that no matter what happens, you can get it done, right? That's the commitment. Now, the goal is what we're shooting for. The goal is what we really want to happen. And the intention is more about how we're being and not so much strategy from a tactical perspective, but I want you guys to think of the intention. We've talked about this a call. If you're new to this call, we talk about this a lot, right? How you're being, how you're showing up, the less tangible, tactical, kind of I don't want to say softer because I don't think it's soft per se, but the less hard line, right? The more mushy stuff is kind of within that intention. And so if you're new, or maybe you're shooting for a goal that you've never done it before, it's great, right? Maybe you're going for a $5,000 week, and maybe you've done $5,000 in a week before, or maybe you haven't. Oftentimes our goals, and Jim talks about this, need to be activity based, because we don't have our numbers, we don't have our ratios, we don't know what it's going to take to hit the result that we want to hit, right? And so in that case, we need to have an activity goal. So drop a 7 in the chat if you have your numbers very clear. You can reverse engineer. You know that if you need to make $10,000, this is how many dials you have to do because you have that much data and that much activity behind you. Drop a 7 if you can reverse engineer and you have basically you've mastered production. Okay. Bonnie, Rick. Cool. Okay. So that you are probably in very good position to have a results-based goal. Now, for those of you who did not put a 7 in the chat and you don't have those numbers, I'm going to encourage you to get really curious. And for November and December, set activity-based goals that stretch you into like a new space, right? We hear this a lot. Activity, cool. More activity. We know that. Okay, cool. I don't need to harp on that a lot because everybody else harps on that a lot, right? More activity, more dials, more sits, more. So the most important thing when we are, oh my gosh, I just realized it's 9:14. Okay. The most important thing when we are thinking about and looking at our goals and our commitments, something that is required is your belief. And we talk about this here, right? We've had a few weeks where we've talked about like, how do we actually do the work? How do we actually become the kind of person who naturally gets the job done, right? If we can become the kind of person that hits AO numbers, we hit AO, right? Just it's because it's who we become. But like, how do we actually do that? And so if you have a goal that you don't believe, and I don't mean consciously, I don't mean that you are saying you believe it, like, oh yeah, I can do it. But your heart, like inside, when that happens, your whole body is constricting and you stop breathing a little bit. It's not going to happen. The belief in what you are setting out to do is more important than the actual goal itself. And so this is the time, this is the week, as you're getting clear on what am I setting out to achieve, to accomplish in November, maybe in December, maybe from now to the end of the year, whatever your timeline is, but let's say November. If when you sit and close your eyes and say out loud, like, I am a team leader, or I've got $10,000 in the bank, I want you to pay attention to your body. And when you say that, does your body expand and open up? Do you sit up taller? Do your shoulders go back? And this is probably happening on a micro scale. Or when you say that, are you kind of leaning in? Are you constricting? That's a really good, just somatic way to know if your belief is there or not. And so when we talk about being delusional, basically we're talking about having a full belief in your body, in your unconscious mind, that you can do something that either you've never done or somebody else has never done, or that is really rare to happen, right? And sometimes we surprise ourselves. Absolutely. Sometimes we hit goals and we smash them. My goal this month was 8,000 submitted. I submitted 23,000. But the belief is what switched, like that. It wasn't having the goal, it was having the belief that I can hit the goal. And so I wanted to leave you guys with, I know we're running out of time. I wanted to leave you guys with a list of books that I'm going to see if I can copy paste it, that help with belief, rewiring your beliefs, identifying your beliefs. We've talked about that a lot here. Sorry, having a hard time multitasking right now. Okay, I might just drop this in the chat. Is anybody not here? Let me see. I want to get you guys this list, but it's like not copy pasting well. Okay. Sorry, squirrel. That belief and being able to identify the beliefs that are not supportive of your goals and where you're going, to be able to identify those so that you can bring awareness to and rewire them, to change them, to alter them, to write new ones. That is a skill that is going to get you wherever you want to go. Because ultimately, the only reason we're not where we want to be is because there's a part of our brain that doesn't believe that we can. It is that simple. It is that simple. So if we can identify what that belief is, and we can bring awareness, and we can start to change that consciously, bring that unconscious, that is a super power, to be able to bring your unconscious beliefs to your conscious mind so that you can work with them, so that you can change them, so that you can rewire them. So that every time they pop out, you can be like, hey, actually, you're wrong. Actually, you're wrong. We want to realize that our brain is wrong. So let me drop this very not cute list about some books. Who's reading? Drop in the chat while I do this. Drop in your chat. What are you reading right now? I know we're over time. If you guys got to go, you guys know I like to respect time. So if you got to go, I get it. Yeah, Rick, go ahead.
Straight scoop. I've got a 1 p.m. appointment today with a fit woman in her 40s on Navigator. She had a tummy tuck. Her only health issue, meaning, so on Navigator with a tummy tuck 4 years ago, should I answer, has she been hospitalized in the last 10 years?
Was she there overnight, or like how long was she in the hospital for? I think they usually say a couple of days.
Right. I apologize. I did not quantify that. I almost thought it was in a plastic surgeon's office.
Yeah, if it's like I've heard both. So I would ask, was it in a hospital? Like, was she admitted to a hospital for it? Or was it in a doctor's office? And if she stayed overnight, and it depends on the carrier, but it's going to be 1 or 2 nights. If she was in the hospital for more than 48 to 72 hours, I would definitely, and you could leave a note, do you know what carrier you're?
LNG?
You could risk assess. I don't know if they answer on Saturdays. I don't think it's I would, and if it comes up, I would just answer honestly, like in the question of have you been hospitalized? You can say yes, it'll ask what for. If for any reason it comes back, you can ask for a reconsideration. But as long as there was no complications, I would also ask what medication. Sometimes they're put on really strong painkillers after that. So I would ask about what
Yeah.
drugs. Yep. But yeah, I would just answer the questions honestly, disclose the information. And if you need to risk assess, if you want to try to risk assess before, I don't know if they get back to you on Saturdays, but you can give that a go. Or if you know anybody who has a direct line to BZ, that could be helpful as well.
Okay, thank you kindly.
Yeah, of
Rick,
course.
Rick, are you in the Susie New Neighbor group me?
No.
Because they have an underwriting group me.
Okay. I did not know about that.
Yeah, we can I can share with you. I don't who's your what's your hierarchy? Who's are you in Susie Need Neighbor? Rick, are you part of Susie Need Neighbor? Or are you on a
I'm under
different?
the Craig McMahon
Okay.
tree. About
Yeah, I would see if you guys do have any resources specifically for underwriting. But yeah, I mean LGA is great with risk acceptance. Absolutely, Kimberly. And yeah, Rick, if you have any questions, you can always message me on GroupMe. I'll be in there this morning for sure. And I'll be in the Mac room. I know we went a little late today, you guys, but thank you so much for hanging out, for being here. I didn't really get 15 minutes is hard to get into some deeper concepts, but we'll keep talking about this. If you guys want to keep this conversation going, as many of you have, you can always message me. Always happy to chat. But I really just want to encourage you guys to take advantage of this week 5 to not only wrap up your October goals, to get really, really clear on November and to start now. To start right now, because it is you're gonna get your November will thank you if you get a jump start and picture this week and think about this week as the week that can set you up for success for November and December. You guys are wonderful. Thank you for being here. Happy Saturday. Happy week 5. Cheers to all of the weekend warriors that are about to be in this room. You guys are lovely. I love you, and I will see you guys next week.